Hey guys, so I've got something to show you today. It's a little bit echoey in here actually. And I'm also down on the floor, as you can see, to show you these. These are FormFutura EasyWood prints. Well, not all of it, these green bits aren't. I got some EasyWood filament from FormFutura. They sent me some to try out and it's really nice to print with. There are a few caveats there, we'll come back to that in a second. But these are some of the things that I've been printing. So some of these are from Thingiverse. I'll put a link in the description, and some of them I've designed myself. So we've got a little crate here. It's really, really cool. So this is printed with the EasyWood pine. This is the pine one. So you can get them on this roll. I think it's 750 grams. And you can also get them in sample sizes. I'm going to lose it. I've also printed a little palette. This is designed from Thingiverse. I think it's really nice. It can make a really nice coaster. And because it's done in wood, it actually looks like the real thing, except for miniature, I guess. I designed up, is that a thing you can say? I'm not sure. I designed a Hacksmith logo in 3D. I've taken out a couple of sections here where they're not joined to anything. So I took his logo and messed around with it in an SVG file and then extruded it and printed it out. Now, I thought this would be a nice test for the detail level on the EasyWood. So you can see here on the saw blade that it's actually got quite a nice bit of detail on the serrated section there, which is more detail than I had expected to get, really. And then my standard print for testing out filaments is the cute octopus says hello. So there he is. Now you'll notice on the end of his little tentacle, are they tentacles? I think they are. It's sort of gone a bit messed up there. Now this was my very first print, so I had the temperature settings a bit off. Now this stuff is 40% wood, and you can print with it from about 200 degrees up to 220. I found that I need to print at 230. Now it's likely because of where my temperature sensor is on my printer maybe, or perhaps it just is like that with different extruders, I'm not sure. And then we've got these guys. Now these are prints that I've done myself. I've designed them myself, and they're low poly trees, or at least they're meant to be. So the top section is printed with some green PLA. This is Hatchbox filament, I believe. I'll confirm that in the text below. And this one's the EasyWood pine, and this one's the EasyWood coconut, I believe, which is this one here. Now these came in little sample packs, like this one here, which is a willow, so it's a sort of yellow colour. I don't know if willow's like that in real life. And this one here, which is it pine as well? No, it's cedar. So that's sort of an orangey, much more orangey than this one. So I wanted to print these out. They're sort of like toys, I guess, but because I like to light everything up, that's what I've done with this one here. So if I just turn off the light, you'll be able to see it. So it sort of glows. And the reason it glows is because we've got a little LiPo battery in here. Not LiPo, but 3.7 volt battery and some LEDs. And because I've printed this with quite a thin perimeter and top and bottom layers, then you can see through it. And it's quite a dappled effect, if you'll see. And that's because it's got all these different sections in there where I've created this low poly effect, and where they overlap, then you get this sort of bush effect, which I really like. So I've done that with two. I haven't put LEDs in two. In fact, let's get the lights back on. I haven't put LEDs in two. I've only done it in one so far, but I really like the idea. I'll pop this design onto Thingiverse as well. So if you fancy printing some low poly trees, I thought my niece and nephew might really like them. Well, they might not end up getting them. I might keep them. I'm not sure. Don't tell them. So yeah, I thought they'd just be fun for little ornaments or kids to play with, or just as an experiment really, to see if you can find a better way of printing this bad boy here, which was a difficult one, as you can see. So it had a lot of support on there, and it didn't come off cleanly, but I don't think that really matters. I'm quite happy with how they came out overall. EasyWood filament isn't your standard kind of filament. I mean, it's not quite like PLA. It's certainly not like ABS. It's very brittle, so you can just snap it like that. So if you have a machine where the filament goes over rollers in your machine, it's not really going to work very well. I have a Bowden tube that my filament goes through, and it goes through that just fine, and it's got a nice curve on it like that, so that is large enough, so any kind of curve that you have on your roll of filament is going to be fine. But it is quite brittle, so you need to be careful of that, especially when you're feeding it into your printer or pulling it out of your printer after it's finished. So you might end up breaking bits off, which isn't much of a problem. Now, I told you there was a bit of a caveat about printing these. I did break my printer with EasyWood filament, unfortunately. Now, I did that because I'm an idiot. So I set it off printing. I'd followed some of the instructions, not all of them. I'll tell you about the one that I didn't follow. I'd followed some of the instructions, and then I left it printing. It's about a 4-hour print, and then I went to the pub. So I went to the pub and left the printer alone, and when I came home, it had stopped extruding, something had got blocked in the nozzle, and then there was this just big sort of black burning wood mess in there. So it broke my printer. But really, I broke the printer. Now, the other one that I didn't follow was the advice that you print quickly with this stuff, so you should try and get it out your nozzle as soon as possible, really. So try and print with thick layers and very quickly, so that the thick layers, I mean, it works really well. It gives you a nice effect. So actually, I'm not looking for an incredibly smooth surface with sort of EasyWood filament. I'm looking for something that looks a little bit rougher, because that's what wood does, unless you're going to sand it down afterwards, which you can definitely do with this. You can even stain it, I believe. So I'd left this thing going, and it clogged up inside the little sort of silicon tube, not silicon, PTFE tube that leads towards the extruder. Now, it got blocked in there, and as a result of previous printing, I found some blue PLA stuck inside that tube when I eventually got it out. So it did get stuck, and the whole thing was burnt. And then I took my printer apart whilst a bit tipsy, perhaps a little bit more than tipsy, when I got home, and so I made it 100 times worse. So it wasn't the EasyWood's fault, but it certainly was the downfall of my printer on that occasion. So I think it's a really nice filament. It's called EasyWood, and it really is easy to print with. It lays down really nicely. It sticks to your blue tape, if that's what you're using. Sticks to that. I literally have to take the blue tape off the bed in order to get it off, because it sticks that well to the blue tape. It's just nice. It's quite nice level of detail. I'm printing in 0.27 millimeter layer heights, so this is the kind of detail that you can expect, and I think it's really nice. I've got some other samples here, so I've got two left. I've got the willow and the cedar. Now, I've got plenty of this pine left, and I've also got some of this coconut left. So I don't need these. So I thought I'd give them away. Now, I don't want to just say whoever wants them can have them. What I'd like you to do, if you want these, and I'll send, I guess it depends on the entries, how many there are or whatever. So you may get one or you may get both. But I'm not going to do some kind of normal competition. It's just going to be judged by myself. But I'd like you to tweet a photo of your favourite print that you've done on your printer, because you're going to need to have a printer to have these. Your favourite print that you've done on your printer. So a print of it on the print bed, or halfway through printing, or whatever you're printing right now. So tweet that picture to me, and include FormFutura in the tweet as well. Get the @ symbol thing. You'll have to search for them online, but you'll find them, I'm sure. If you tweet that picture and say that you'd like some FormFutura filament, I will post these to you for free. One or both, it depends on how many people do it. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and if you've got any questions about the EasyWood filament, or just printing in wood filament in general, I'll try and help you out. I now have some experience on how not to do it, so I might be able to help you. All right, take care, guys.